our management for giving this opportunity to share the wonderful webinar for the students of STEKOM University Indonesia. And also, I would like to thank Rector of STEKOM University, Dr. Joseph, and MC Novita for giving this opportunity for our faculties. Now, I would like to invite Mr. S. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science from Arunai Engineering College, Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, India, to take over the session. Karthikeyan, sir, start the session.
Hello.
Let's start the session. Thank you.
Yeah. PPT. Shall I start, sir?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
My voice is audible, ma'am? Shall we
Yes,
start, ma'am?
everything is perfect. Yeah, please.
A very good afternoon to you. Myself, as Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, AI&DS Department, Arunai Engineering College from India. Today, I'm going to discuss about the research methodology. So first, what is mean by research? Research is a process of steps. It is used to collect and analyze the information about various fields. Generally, the research methodologies is called a careful investigations. Why we called careful investigation? At the initial stage, we cannot do any type of research work because we have no idea at the initial stage. So we can't do anything in research oriented topic. For that only, this is known as careful investigation. In this paper, research methodology, we split the word of research is re plus search, which means research. Re means again we have to do something work, or again we have to do something research paper for creating a new idea, or we creating a new concept in the society. In search means we finding the new solution, which means we finding the new idea about the research field. For that only we define the word research. And what is methodology? Methodology is nothing but the split the word of methodology is method plus logic. Method is a technique or process of the topic, and logic is the scientific study of method. The methodology is nothing but it is a field of study. The field of study means we have to searching a research oriented topic or research oriented process. This is called the method. And logic means scientific study of method, which means a particular way of doing a something in research papers. In this research methodology, we have to following some rules and principle and procedures. So this is very important to following the research methodology topics because at the initial stage we have no idea of the research oriented title or we have no idea of the research oriented of paper. So we have idea of the following. We have to following some rules and the principle and procedure. So this is going to use to analyze the research methodologies paper. The first one is the basic research rules. Basic research rules we have following a define a clear research problem. First, we should have a clear research idea of our research title. For that only we can continue the research paper. So we should be a define a clear research problem is nothing but we ensure the in relevant and meaningful of your field of study. That is a clear research problem. Or if we start with a specific topic, we should focus about the research-oriented title and what type of questions ask them the research paper and what type of the uh, scenario asks them the research title. So we should have a clear research idea of research problem. This is the basic rules. And the next rules we should following here, we should use a suitable methodology, which means we justify the evidence of the paper because we choose the method. Our paper is very quantitative or qualitative, aligned with your research goals. So the use of suitable method is very important of the basic research rules. And third one is the be objective and unbiased of the research rules. Objective of the paper is very important to start the research paper. Once we have a objectives clearly, we have entirely the research oriented is continuous. We are frequently we are going. So for that only the objective is very important. The objective is we should avoid letting personal beliefs and we should avoid the opinions or expectations influence your future outcomes. And the next one is the ensure validity and reliability. First, we ensure the validity and reliability means ensure the paper. What type of research paper we have to following and what type of research paper we have to select it. This is we ensure. So ensure validity and reliability means we test the instruments when necessary, which means our tools and procedures should measure accurately, which means validity and consistency. Consistency means it is reliability. And next one, follow the ethical standards. This is means we should obtain the informed consent from the participant. We should maintain the confidently in the research-oriented topic. Why we follow the ethical standard? We should avoid the plagiarism in futures. And next one, document and report honestly. So our document are very transparently in the research oriented topic. So why the paper is transparently? Because the next generation will use our research paper. For that only we transparently we publish the paper in the society. And next one, the basic rules allow replication. Allow replication is nothing but we make your methodology clearly and we should detail so others can replicate or verify your works and increasing the credibility and the scientific value. So this is the uh, allow replication. And the next one, we should analyze the data appropriately. The data is used to statistical and analytic tools. We should avoid the misinterpreting or we should avoiding the any kind of data in futures. And next, eighth one is be transparent. So our paper is very transparently published to the society because next generation we use the research paper. For that only we transparent the paper in the society. And next one, stay update and informed the basic research rules, which means review the current literatures to stay aware of trends and development. And we should avoid repeating existing research without adding a new value. So review the current literature's paper. Once you have to select a research-oriented paper, you just review the your paper and what are the literature surveys they have to following the research scholars. So these kind of activities we should continuously review the paper. And the next, the basic key principles. The principles very important to following the rules. The first we discuss about the integrity. Integrity means we should avoid the fabrications and falsification and misrepresentation of data, which means be honestly and transparently in every aspects of research, which means be planning and conducting and reporting the data. And second principle of research is objectivity. Objectivity is nothing but it is based on the conclusions on evidence, not personal opinion or external persuasions. which means remaining unbiased throughout the research paper. Objectivity is nothing but it is clear concept of your research paper. So objective is thoroughly we studied in the overall research paper, which means the abstract, because the abstract is the whole research paper's definition is summarized for the abstract. And third one is empirical evidence. Empirical evidence is nothing but which support the arguments and the conclusion of with verifiable information. That is not the empirical evidence. And next one, systematic approaches. Systematic approaches is nothing but we should follow a structural and logical and organized process, which means we ensure the basic steps for the previous research papers and the current selected research papers. And next we discuss about the ethical responsibility. Ethical responsibility is nothing but we protect the rights, dignity, and the welfare of the participant, and we should follow the ethical guidelines, including consent and confidently, etc. And next, we discuss about the validity and the reliability. Validity and the reliability is nothing but we ensure the research measures and what it intend to measure validity paper, and we should ensure the consistent and the repeatable reliability of the research oriented title. And next, transparency and openness. Transparency and openness is nothing but we should share the documents and we should share the finding documents openly to publish the society, because the next generation of people used your research oriented title. For that only, we should transparently publish the papers in the society. And next one is accountability. Accountability is nothing but we should take the responsibility for the research process and the outcomes, and you should be prepared to explain and defend the methods and conclusion of the research oriented titles. And next one is respect for intellectual property, which means we should give the proper credit to the other researchers, which means we should avoid the plagiarism in futures and authorize use of data or ideas. And last one, social and scientific value. So we should conduct the research and contributes to the knowledge, which means to solve the complex problem about the research oriented paper. And we should avoid the falsification in future. We should avoid the plagiarism in futures and avoid unnecessary and redundant document in futures about the research oriented topic. And next, research procedure. The basic step-by-step research procedures following to the scientific method. The first one is identify the research problem, which means we should identify the what topic we have to use the research problem, and what are the agenda we have to the following in our future research oriented topic, what are the literature surveys we have to following, and what are the we should identify the what are the gap in the research problem. So the identify research problem is very important to the research field, which means the clearly define the issues and questions what you want to investigate in the paper, and we should be specific and researchable and signification of the research oriented papers. And next one, review of the literature. So the literature part is very important to continue with the research title, because once we have to select a research paper, this literature, what papers you should have following the literature survey. So review of literature is very important, which means to studying existing research and theories related to your topic. What are the theories you have to following? What are the algorithm you have to following? You just write down the key points and you will be added to a research title. So literature survey is very important to helping the reviewer question. This is used for to avoiding the duplication of your future research title. And next one, formulate research objectives, which means objective and questions hypothesis. So these three categories are very important to research procedures. The objective is what you aim to achieve your project or what you aim to achieve your goals about your research oriented topic, and question is what you want to answer about your research titles. Hypothesis is nothing but a testable prediction about the relationship between the variables, etc. And next one, choose the research design, which means we should be decide on the overall plan or strategy. For example, experimental oriented research title, descriptive and exploratory. We should select a quantitative and a qualitative or mixed method depending upon your objectivity. So choose the research design is very important for the research procedure. And next one, select the population and the sample. This is we should be define the target population who or what you are studying research oriented, and choose a sampling method for randomly or purposely, etc. And we should determine your sample size of the paper. And the next one, choose the data collection method. This data selection method is nothing but we should select the appropriate tools like related literature survey, literature oriented interviews, and your paper oriented experimental and your paper oriented observation, etc. And we should design the instrument like a interview guiding, etc. And next one, we collecting the data. So we collecting the data means we should collect our research oriented data. We should be collected because this data is very useful for in future. You should be avoid the falsification or you should avoid the plagiarism. So collecting the data is very important to research procedures. We conduct the research using your choosing method, which means to ensure the consistency and the accuracy of your research oriented title. So the data is very important. And next one, analyze the data. Once you have to selecting the research paper, in previous paper you are going to be analyzed and what are the defects and available your project and what are the advantage and the disadvantage affected your previous paper. You just analyze the paper. After analyze your research oriented paper, you erase the previous paper advantage, sorry, disadvantage and errors of the paper. This is used for your future research title. You should submit the research document in thesis type. And the next one, interpret to finding the procedure. We just explain the what data means relates to your research questions or hypothesis. We should discuss about the significance and implication of the limitation. So this is the interpret for to finding the research procedure. And next one, report the results. Report the results means we write the reports, we write the research report, and we write the research oriented thesis, and we should research a paper including introduction and methodology and results and what type of research oriented discussion and conclusions and what are the reference you have to follow in the research methodology paper, and what are the proper formatting you will be used for your papers. So the reporting research is very important for the research procedure. And finally, share and apply the researches. Share and apply researches means your paper will be sharing to the others because they will find out what are the defects or affected with the papers, and they will helpful for your paper. You should finding the defects and you should clear the defects of your paper. For that only your papers will be sharing to others, which means your paper means transparently in the society. And next is the scientific study of method. Scientific study of method is we should following the some basic steps. The first one is make an observation and asking question, and second one to background research, and the third one to formulate a hypothesis, and fourth one test the hypothesis with an experiment, and the fifth one analyze the data, and next one draw the conclusion, and the last one communicate the research. So these are the scientific study of method. This is called a methodology. So the first one is make an observation and asking a question. Is nothing but we should notice something in natural world and formulate a question about it, your research oriented paper. And the next one, do background research, which means to gathering the information about the research topic and what should see what is already know. So first of all, you should collect the research paper and what you are noticed that papers and already available your data is previous paper or not. You just inquiry, just analyze your background research paper. And third one is formulate a hypothesis, which means to propose a testable explanation for the observation, which means you testable the research papers. And next one, test the hypothesis with an experiment. It is used to design and conducting an experiment to test your hypothesis. And next one, analyze the data. So analyze the data is very important to your research paper, which means to examine the results of your experiment. Once you select the research paper, you just analyze the literature survey, you should analyze the agenda of the paper, you should analyze the observation, you should analyze the abstract, you should analyze the what are the existing system and what are the proposed system. So these kinds of data you are going to be analyzed and you just write down the key points your research paper. Uh, After analyze your paper, you just added the new features about your research oriented title, because the freshly the research papers will be published on your paper. So analysis is very important to searching the data or to searching the research papers. And next one, draw the conclusions. You should determine the whether the data supports or refuses the hypothesis. So conclusion part is you just summarize what you are going to be uh, experimental. So what you are going to be doing your part. So conclusion is you just summarize the complete research papers. And the last one is communicate the results. Communicate the results means you just sharing the documents to the society. What are the points and you should be collected about research title, and what are the points which be collected in the literature survey. So these types of data you should be sharing and to transfer into the others. And next one, the important types of research method is they should follow 8 important types. The first one is descriptive types. Descriptive research is very important of the research types, which means which one is you should be focused about your research title, and which one is to focus describe the characters of your research oriented, and for what you have to doing your research oriented. So descriptive research is very important types of the research method, what you have to do, and you should do the paper or not do the papers. So which means to finding the literature survey, to finding the fact, and to inquiring the different kinds of research papers. So descriptive research is very important for the research method. And the next one, the analytical research. Analytical research means you have to analyze already available data or already available research materials. So this is very important key point of research method, analytical research. For example, in 2020, the COVID virus is spreading to all the nations. So we should analytic research is before COVID, what are the peoples affected? After COVID, what are the peoples were affected? Before COVID, what are the medicine the people should be taken and to clear the our internal body? After COVID, what are the medicine they will take and to cure the COVID? So this type of analytic research is very important to in future research. In same manner, once we have to select a research title, before once you select a research paper, before you're going to analyze the research oriented topic, what are the data to be affected with paper? After selecting your paper, and what are the key points will be added in the research paper. So analytical research paper is very important to research methodology. And third one is applied researches. Applied researches is nothing but we should finding a solution immediately. We should finding the problem to facing the society, which means in COVID time, the COVID spread to all the nations. The many governments immediately the medicine will be provide to the people and save the people's life. In same manner, once we have to select a research title, some of the problems will be occur our research oriented paper. So some of the algorithm will be introducing and we should clear the research oriented title. Immediate problem is very important to solving the research method. So the applied research is very important. And the next one is the fundamental research, which means the basic research concepts, which means we should mainly concern with the generalization and the formulation of the papers. We should focus about the new theory. We should focus about the new fact. We should focus on the new idea. So this is the basic fundamental research purpose. And the next, this is used for the max concepts like theory, problems, and algorithm will be added to the fundamental research concepts. And next one is the exploratory or formulatory research, which means to generate the new idea, which means to generate a new fact to precise the formulation problem and unfamiliar problem. Because some of the problems we did not know what are the algorithm we use your papers. So that kind of papers, we should analyze the data in Google and net searching. And after we collecting data, just we have to including the undefined patterns. We should changes the defined paper, which means some of the papers we should not understand. So this explanatory concept will be included, new types of algorithm, what are the ideas will be included. After it will be converted into undefined to meaningful defined. This is known as formative researches. And the next one is the diagnostic researches. Diagnostic research is nothing but, which means this is the causal relations of a problem and you should following the possible solution. And the next one is the quantitative research. Quantitative research is nothing but it is expressed in numbers of graphs. Many graphs and numbers used in the research title. It is used to test and to confirm the theory and the assumption. So title is very important. So graph is very important. So numbers are very important. So this is for the quantitative researches. And next one, the qualitative researches. Qualitative research is same kind of quantitative researches. It is express the word which is used to understanding the concepts throughout the our research titles. So these research types is very important to research scholars. And next one, the basic characters of the research method. The first we should focus about the clarity and focus. So the clarity and focus is nothing but objective of the paper and title of the paper. So you should focus about the objective of the paper, scope of the paper. If you have not clarified your papers, definitely we can't do our the entire research paper. So objective is very important. Objective is nothing but this is the abstract paper. So you should focus the clear abstract. You can easily continue the research title. And next one, the reproducibility. Reproducibility is nothing but we should detail enough that other research can replicate the study. And next one is the appropriate design, which means to align with the research objectives. And next one is the valid and reliable data. This is for to ensure the research data and what type of research purpose you have to be selected and continue in features. So valid and reliable data is very important basic research method. And next one is the ethical consideration. This ethical consideration throughout the research papers we have to analyze this. So this is very important characters of the basic research. And next one, the sample collection, how the data or samples are selected in a research one paper. If you select a research oriented title, you just collect the sample data about your research title. This is helpful for to rectify in your future papers. And next one, the data collection and the techniques. This is used for to collecting and to gathering data about your research title, because once you have to collecting the data, you just adding the new fact about your future research title. So data collection is very important to you will be added the new features, you will be added the new idea, you will be added the new fact about your future research title. So data collection is very important. And next one, the analysis the procedures. The analyze the procedures is very important to your research title, because once you have to select the title, you just analyze the paper. This paper is previously published or not. So the analysis is very important. So once if you start the research title, the analysis is very important in your document. And next one, the clear justification. Each research methodology should be justified. So some of the your paper is review. This paper is already published or not, already available or not. So clear justification very important in research methodology. And next one is the transparency. So your paper is very transparent to all. For that only, you should be avoid the future plagiarism in your report. And this is the simple characters of method: systematic, objective, empirical, and valid, and reliable, replicable, generalizable, and ethical, and appropriate to the research questions, and analytical, sound in the paper. The first one, the systematic, is nothing but we should follow the clear and organize the logical procedures of the your papers, and we should ensure the consistency of your papers, and what are the steps you have to follow in your research title, which means planning and data collection and analysis about your research titles. And next one is the objective. Objective is nothing but it is based on the observable and measurable facts about your research oriented title. So objective is very important for your paper. So objective is a basic abstraction. Abstraction is clear definition of your papers. And third one is the empirical. Empirical is nothing but it is conclusions of observed your verified documents. So empirical is very important for the good research method. And next one, the valid. Valid is nothing but we just ensure the results of accurately reflect the research oriented studies. So we should ensure the valid. So we should measure what it is intended to including the paper. And next one is the replicable. Replicable is nothing but it is transparently the method design and the data collection key is publishing to the through the internet. So this is going to use to for next generation will use your papers. And next one is generalizable. This generalizable is nothing but the results can be applied uh, broad populations or quantitative research, which means it requires the representative sample and appropriate methodology. And the next one is the ethical. Ethical is nothing but we should respect the rights and dignity and privacy and the participant, it including the consent of the paper and confidently, and we should avoiding the in future plagiarism. So ethical is very important basic good research method. And next one is the appropriate to the research questions. We should matches the type and scope of the research questions. Example, qualitative for exploratory researches and quantitative for hypothesis testing. So this is very important characters of the good research method. And in last, analytically sound. This is used for to ensure the conclusions of evidence and logical reasoning of your papers. We should focus appropriate tools and the techniques and data analysis of your research oriented title. So these are the basic and good research characteristics of method. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation, sure. And we have
Yes, ma'am.
some question from participant. Already
Mhm.
read in the Zoom chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, the question already read in the Zoom chat, sure.
Yes, ma'am. What question you want, ma'am?
Our first question is
Hmm.
writing methodology more about following structure rule or about developing a mindset of critical inquiry and curiosity? Thank you.
Hello. So, your question means ethical related topics. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The question already read in the Zoom chat.
What questions, ma'am? Once again, repeat, ma'am.
Is research methodology more about following structure rule or about developing a mindset of critical inquiry and curiosity?
So, the basic rules and principles of the very important of research methodology. The basic rules, first we should define the clear research idea of our problem, and we should have a suitable methodologies of your paper, and we should be objective and unbiased of your paper, and we should ensure the research oriented title. So this is the basic rules of research methodology.
Yeah, and then the second question, can a well-designed methodology compensate for a weak research idea, or is a strong concept always more important?
What, ma'am? Once again repeat, ma'am.
Can a well-designed methodology compensate for a weak research idea, or is a strong concept always more important?
The types of the research is very important for the research methodology paper. So already I explained qualitative approaches, descriptive approaches. So and analytic research is very important for research methodology basic steps. So the analytic research part is we just analyze the already available data and the current data.
I guess no one else asking again, sure. Yeah, thank you for your answer. And before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three for documentation. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one. One, two, three. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Professor Karthikeyan for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we have the more collaboration in the future. The visiting lecture for today, and here we hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day and bye.